We're here on Nazar Circus. Today is another exciting episode. I have my girl, and I'll let her just introduce herself first, and then we can take it from there. Tell us.
Hey, okay. So my name is Adaeze Onu, Mrs. Smolarek, so better known as Mrs. S. So that's how you're going to address the lady.
Okay, so for today's podcast, you will be Mrs. S. If I call you Adaeze, remind me because I'll be drifting in and out of this thing. So, Mrs. S, just tell us a bit more about yourself. I know that you have your own YouTube channel, you have your stuff that you're doing. So, tell us a bit more, and then we can then get into the topic of the day or topics of the day.
Okay,
So,
I know, your podcast is exciting, and I know that you've had a lot of really, really interesting, excellent people. So I should be a little dry for the
go away, Joe. You're not dry.
Oh yeah, like you did mention, I have a YouTube channel that I started after I got married. So that's really the basis of the whole thing. Marriage is something that was like I've always dreamt of, and it took me forever to get married.
I wonder why.
It took me forever to get married because for me, marriage, as I said, is something that I always wanted. And because it's something I always wanted, I had to do it the proper way. So that's why it took me forever. And so I got married to the most amazing human being in this world. I love him. He's a fantastic husband. And I'm very proud of myself that I was able to lead him in my direction.
Okay, so you've been married I feel like you're drifting in and out. I don't know if it's your speaker. But yeah. So how long have you been married for?
So I'm going on 7 years, but
Oh my God.
it's like fresh because that's my tagline, forever newlywed. Come on.
So married for 7 years, and your YouTube channel is called what?
It's called Being Mrs. S.
Hey, can I just ask you, and I know some of the answers, but I have to also remember that a lot of some people who will be listening won't know you. Today we want to talk about a specific topic, but I think I've switched it up now. I don't want to stick to that particular topic, and my listeners will understand in a minute when I go into things. So let's talk about marriage, and there's a reason why I'm asking you this. How did you meet your husband? There's a reason why. There's a method to my madness. So yes,
I love it. I met my husband on a dating website. People say dating website. You mean you could not find a man on your own? I said, please calm down. Cool down. No, I think let's see how it started. It's really funny because my sister, and I don't know if she'll remember this, says to me, "You're so picky." Dating websites are out there now. Maybe that will help you out because then you go on a dating website and say exactly what you want, and then of course you express yourself, and then that way you meet who you want or whatever. And I said, "Mika, dating website for what?" And then fast forward, I had a friend who's just like me, single. And then we were just chatting one day, and she says, "Oh, let's get on a dating website together." So when she now said, "Let's do it," I was like, "All right, cool, we'll do it." And she 419 me. I got on the dating website, and she never did.
Oh.
So anyway, I ended up, oh my God, I went on so many dates. It's ridiculous. But then one thing I found out about dating websites is a lot of time, and it was different ones actually. And it's all about hooking up. Let's hook up. This. Anyway, long story short, I've moved to Denver for a job, and it took me a while to decide to take this job because I was like, "What's my business with Denver?"
From Atlanta. Mm-hmm.
my sister. And but then I did the research. And Denver, like Alaska, the ratio of men to women is a nice ratio.
So hold on, because you cut off there, guys. We're recording remotely, so bear with us. So hold on, what did you say about the ratio? Because I didn't hear that bit. Denver, tell me that ratio.
The ratio
Uh-huh.
is, can you hear me? Is this
I
better?
can hear you. Yeah, yeah, I can hear you. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the ratio of men to women is, it was really nice ratio, as opposed to in Atlanta, there are
Hmm.
tons more women than there are of men.
In the
Than
A, all the girls are scrambling for the
exactly.
men.
And
Mm.
it's a good, the ratio, and now it's back then. They've said it's changed now. So if you will now say, "Let me rush down to Denver," don't say it's because of you. I'm not the one. So back then, the numbers were all right.
The numbers were
Uh,
looking good. Mm-hmm.
mhm. So I said, okay, I'll carry this their tertiary money and I'll move there. Who knows? Maybe my guy is there. And
Mm-hmm.
lo and behold, I got here. I turned on my profile and ding, 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 ding. I said,
What's
hot
going
girl
on?
in
What
town.
one? Mm-hmm.
And anyway, so my husband sent me a message. I had a very, very complete, precise profile, and I was very specific. I said, I'm not on this dating website for a hookup. I want to settle down, read my entire profile, understand who I am. If you believe you match or you meet up to what I'm asking for, please by all means send a message. Now, if you send me a message and I don't respond to you, it means that you did not calculate well, because I told you, make sure
Mm-hmm.
you understand who you're reaching out to. So if I look at your profile and your profile doesn't match anything that I'm asking for, I have no interest in you and I will not respond. So I almost didn't respond to my husband, which is a funny thing. But then I was like, oh, but he has such kind eyes. And and
Hmm.
I responded, and so we're here. It'll be 7 years November.
Wow. So I have a few questions for you because you guys, when Adaeze and I talk, we talk for hours and hours and we talk about every and anything. So I know that you're not gonna I know you know me, so you know that my questions are just me. And you know I'm always curious. So I have a few questions for you. So this dating app thing, would you, because me, I've never been on a dating app. I don't even know what it looks like. I don't even know how it works. Is it something that you would really recommend?
100%. And the reason I would
Mm.
recommend it is because it worked for me. Like, I will not put my mouth in something that I haven't experienced and I'm not sure about. But then again, as I said, you have to be 100% open to what it is what do you want? Who are you, first of all? Do
First
you
of all,
understand?
mm-hmm.
Do
Mm-hmm.
you know who you are? Do you know what you want? Because it's not so much different, as you went outside, you went to the bar, you went to a club or whatever, you met somebody. If you don't know who you are, you're just going to continue going with the wind.
Yeah, parabolating. So I have another my
Exactly.
sec- so you have to know. What you're saying is, if you're going to get on there, make sure that your profile captures your very essence. Who are you? What are you looking for? Don't be there faffing around, right?
Exactly.
Number two, for you, your husband is white. When you went on that dating app, were you like thinking, you know what, I don't care, white, black, whatever, as long as he's a good guy, that's me? Were you open-minded, or was it the eyes that made you fall, or were you just really open-minded?
Oh no, I think I don't think there's a there's a race in this world that I haven't dated.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
very open mind. Well, I'm
Mm-hmm.
married now, so but then yeah, in the
Mm-hmm.
dating scene, I date whoever. Mhm.
And
Whoever
that's really
my
that's
spirit,
really good. Mm-hmm.
yeah, my spirit was good with, we date.
Mm. That's really good. I admire people like that. Um, I admire people like that. I don't know that I'm like that, but I do know that when you meet the right person, you probably won't notice whether they're white, black, or or whatever. If you guys gel, you guys
Whether they
gel.
are
But
from
I think
Wakanda or
Waka
from
to you won't care. So okay, that's really interesting. I Adaeze, Mrs. S, by the way, no, not Adaeze, Mrs. S. We digress because this is not even why what we wanted to talk about. But this dating app thing, we've been talking about this dating app thing because I remember when you were saying to me, you better go and try this dating app thing. I'm
I've told
still
you. But the thing is, you don't listen. That's the problem that someone has with you. They'll tell you something, you say, okay, yeah, okay. Dating. So listen, it worked perfectly for me, and the
Mm,
reason it worked perfectly for me was because I was very, very, very exact about what I wanted. I
mhm,
dated a lot of people from that dating website, and like I said, well, there were different ones, and a lot of these men they're on there because they just want to hook up because that's
mm.
the idea that they believe these dating websites are about. But
Yeah,
even with those crop of not just to hook up guys, there are people who are actually seriously looking to settle
looking.
down. Yes.
Mm,
So your
mm,
profile has to everything from your photo because you go and put one photo, which is the topic we're supposed to be talking about today.
mhm,
You go and
mhm.
put a photo of your back in the day when you were skinny in your skinny girl era. Meanwhile, your
Mm.
real life is that you're orobo.
Hey,
You
oh
put
my God.
you put this you put that picture there,
Yeah.
tell all kinds of different stories on your profile. The guy reaches out to you, you see him, you think, oh, he's cute. I want to hang out with this guy. You now go and
He
meet him
sees
in
you.
real life and he's wait, oh, is this the
What the
person that
heck?
I
Mm,
exactly? So
mm.
everything has to match up from the photos that you put on there, from who you say you are, to what it is that you want, whether in
Mm,
a relationship or if you just want to hook up. And that
mm,
was so when
mm,
my husband met me, he was like, now wow, that he's never seen anything like this before. At first, he was like, she can't be real because this profile is but her profile is complete. But is this really her? And then
mm,
when we
mm,
met, it was like as if he had a, felt tip or whatever to check off everything that was on my profile. I was like, oh my God,
mm.
like no lie here, no lie here, no lie here. And I think that's why it was, you know, a match made in heaven because I told him, look, oh, this is my situation. I have no interest in long drawn out courting or dating or whatever.
Mm.
But both of us are not spring chickens. You should know what you
Time is a
want.
ticking. Mm-hmm,
Uh-uh. You should know
mm-hmm.
what you want, and I know what I want. Uh, I will not go into the new year with you saying I'm dating. That's just not how I roll.
I can't believe it's been 7 years that we came for that beautiful wedding. Girl, congratulations. And in fact, I shouldn't be congratulating you, I should be congratulating your man for dealing with you because you're not an easy chick. I love you, but you are not easy. Hey, my God. Okay, guys, we're gonna let me speed this along. We're gonna get to the main topic of today. Mrs. S, I know that you started on a weight loss journey, and that's what today we were supposed to be discussing.
Absolutely.
I have let me start with a few questions. I don't recall you being, in my opinion, in my very humble opinion, um overweight. I would never have described you as overweight. So can you just like tell us why you thought, you know what, I need to embark on a weight loss journey, and then we can take that story from there.
I'm happy you said that because when I say it myself, people are like impossible.
Mm,
I was skinny growing up. We have the photos to prove it. I've
yeah.
I've always been skinny, and I think it was to the point that I was like, please, can I have some meat on my body?
So me, mm-hmm,
You
mm-hmm,
know? So it was when I got into uni here, what they call the freshman 20 or things like that. I started putting on weight. That of course as things will have it here in America, the way the food is. So I
mm-hmm,
was excited. I said, I check this little weight that someone is putting on. I love it.
mm-hmm,
Um, but it was when I started getting into my 30s that the weight that I was so excited to put on said, you want to eat? Well, take the
take
weight.
away, take it.
Can you
Mm-hmm,
imagine? I mean,
mm-hmm.
it was ridiculous. I had gained so much weight and I didn't know what was going on. I was also experiencing some serious changes to my, you know, menstruation, my cycle, and things like that. And but I didn't know what it was.
Mm,
So when I was much younger or whatever, I would have very, very nice periods. I was always excited to have a period, where people would be
mm.
crying. My periods were never, I never had
An issue.
premenstrual syndrome. Yeah, I never had PMS or any of those things. It would come, it would stay the number of days it's supposed to stay, it would go. Clockwork, just like that. Nice. I never had headaches, I never had bloating, I never had back, none of those things. I never had any of those things. So in my, early 30s, mid 30s, ah, I'll 10 pounds will just show up in my body from nowhere. My period will come and go. You know,
Mm,
the thing will disappear. I didn't think anything about it. I just said, okay. I said maybe it's because I've gained weight, which
mm,
obviously I had.
mm.
But
But at
anyway,
this point, you were still liking the weight, right? You were feeling like at that point, did you start having concerns about the weight then, or were you still like okay with that weight,
I was
extra
I
weight?
was it, once I started getting into my mid 30s, I said, "Ha, Orikwama, what's going on?"
What was
You
going
know,
on? Mm-hmm.
it got out of control. I don't even know. I went from 150, 156 pounds to 248 pounds.
Oh wow,
So I was
that's a
two
lot
I
of
was
weight. Mm-hmm.
248 pounds, and I was like, what is going on here? And it was ridiculous. So back then I got on something I had heard about. And the thing is, let's go back a little bit in my 20s when I gained weight and the weight that I enjoyed. Um,
You're
you
happy
know,
weight.
I gained the weight. I remember my uncle saw me and he was like, I gained the weight and I was happy about it. I gained a little bit more weight and I was like, oh no, I need to lose this weight. So I started working out and the weight disappeared. And I remember my uncle seeing me saying, I should, I should stop. I
Mm,
should stop. I said, stop
mm.
what? He was like, you're doing too much. I've lost too much weight. So the reason I brought that up was because it was always easy for me to,
To drop the weight. Okay.
yes, snap back if I needed to. Okay. So fast forward, this 248 pounds, I was like, what is this nonsense? And back then there was a injection that people were taking. It was called
Mm.
HCG. And at first I was like, this is the basis of HCG. You take the injection, but you had to cut down your calories to 500 calories a day.
Ah.
Not only that, you
Oh.
could not, it was very restrictive. You couldn't drink, you couldn't eat butter, you couldn't put salt in your food. You couldn't even put lotion on your body. The
What has lotion got to do with anything?
You could only use, honestly, it was the craziest thing.
Hey, I
You
should
could
be
only
walking
use,
around ashy because I'm trying to lose weight. What the
no,
heck?
no, you could only use
Yeah.
coconut oil. You use
Mm.
coconut oil in your body, you use coconut oil to cook your food.
Ah.
It was ridiculous.
So this was
These
a,
were the
some kind of
rules.
injection thing. This was like an injection that you had to.
Yes, it was an injection. It was
Mm,
a tiny syringe, and
mm,
they would give you the solution. You would mix it yourself, and you draw it yourself, and you give yourself the injection. And I used to do that every day. I used to take the shot every day.
mm.
And like I said, I knew what to do. I'm very good at following rules. Like they say, you don't eat bread, don't eat this. I was like, no problem, which I
Mm.
ended up doing, and I dropped the weight. I lost over 100 pounds. Right?
What the heck? Like over
Yes.
over over what time span
Um, a
would you
little under
say?
a year. A
Okay.
little,
Mm-hmm.
a little under a year. So I lost the
Mm-hmm.
weight, and maybe I gained back maybe about 10, 20 pounds. So I was about 160 pounds, enjoying
Mm-hmm.
myself when I moved,
Feeling sexy. Mm-hmm.
feeling like a cheek.
Mm-hmm.
When I now moved to Denver, and I met my husband. By the time I was here, the weight started coming back again.
Mm-hmm.
Slowly, surely, slowly, surely. I got engaged. you're getting ready for marriage, so you start working out, things like that. I went to a weight loss center. I was taking B12 shots. I said I wanted to get on HCG again, but I never ended up doing that. I just said, let me just work out on my own.
Hold on, what is HCQ? Was it what is that?
HCG, it's let me see, it's
HCG.
human chorionic gonadotropin.
Oh Lord.
It's
Okay, so that's
supposedly,
the vaccine or not vaccine. That's the injection.
yes, that's the
Okay.
injection. And it's
Mm-hmm.
supposedly a hormone that pregnant women, produce during
Okay.
pregnancy. Yes.
Yeah. Mm,
Right. And it's supposed to trick your body and whatever logic they said.
mm,
Anyway, it worked and I lost the weight then. But this
mm,
time around, I was like, it's too restrictive. In this old age, I don't know if I can give up all those things anymore.
mm.
And at this time, I still didn't understand what was going on with my body. Anyway, fast forward, got married, everything. We, as marriage will have it, you're living with your husband. Coronavirus hit. You're
Oh
sat at
Lord.
home.
Everybody pigged out.
Right. So that 248 that I was screaming about, I thought that was the heaviest I would ever be. I was minding my business one day. And I said, ah, let me go and start working out again. That's when I started my YouTube channel. After I got
Mm,
married, I was like, oh, being Mrs. S. I want to talk about being happily married, things like that. I'm also going to talk about my weight loss journey, this, that, this, that, this, that. Then I hadn't even reached the level that I
mm,
had reached. One day I I just I don't know what was happening to me. My body just felt really weird. You know, a battery that is draining.
mm,
Like maybe your phone is on its last battery and it just goes like that.
mm.
That is what was
Drain.
going on.
Mm,
That was what was going on with me. And I was like, this doesn't seem right. And I said, okay, I need to get back serious to working out. I started working out. I wasn't getting on my scale at the time. I then finally decided to get on my scale. After I think I had lost a little bit of weight. The day I got on my scale, I saw 270 something.
hey,
So I said, if I'm 270 something
now
today,
you've lost some. What were
that
you before you started?
if I'm 270 something today, after I've been
Hey.
doing all this working out, I've lost some weight. What was I initially?
Mm,
So to be honest with you, I'm not gonna lie. I may have probably crossed that 300-pound threshold, and people are
at
not going to
some
believe it.
point. Are
I
you
have the
serious?
photos to prove it. So I remember on TV they were talking about semaglutide. I had heard about it. I was like, again, to start putting pharmaceuticals into my body. I don't know if I want to do that. I thought
Mm,
about it. I put it on the back burner. I said I'm going to do some research about it. And I never really did. It was until I started talking to my friend who's a doctor and she had mentioned it. And I was like, oh, you think it's something to do? She says, you might want to try it out. And I said, you know what, let me go and do the research, which I did. And that's how I found out that semaglutide, just like HCG, is a hormone that they created it. It's to mimic hormones that we already have in our body. And they help move your insulin and things like that the way they're supposed to do in your body. And I
okay.
was like, oh, okay. Let me
Mm-hmm.
try that. So I went to my doctor, got a prescription for Ozempic.
Mm,
Semaglutide is a GLP, glucagon like peptide 1. That's what it is. And that's the active ingredient in Ozempic and Wegovy. Ozempic is the drug that is designed for diabetic
mm.
patients. And then Wegovy is supposedly the weight loss version of it. They're exactly the same thing.
Okay. Because I only know about, I've only heard about Ozempic. haven't heard about
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah, because that's the one everyone knows. That's the one they want to use and
Yeah.
abuse you. When they say, "Oh, this one has lost weight. Oh, she's on Ozempic." Immediately,
Mm,
everything is
mm.
Ozempic. So that's what
So
they
you're
use.
saying that. So you're saying that it's not even that there's Ozempic has a sister, right?
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
Ozempic
Ozempic sister is called the sema. Say that again.
Is Wegovy.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Ozempic
Mm-hmm.
has two sisters.
Mm-hmm.
Ozempic has two sisters. One sister is Rybelsus. Rybelsus is a pill form. You
Mm-hmm.
ingest it. And then Ozempic and Wegovy are the injections that you give yourself subcutaneously. And then Wegovy is the one they say is for weight loss, and Ozempic
Okay.
is for
The
the
diabetic.
diabetic.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. Hmm. Okay. So you got on that on the.
So I went to my
Mm-hmm.
doctor and I said, please, with a quickness, write me this prescription.
Mm-hmm.
Or see
Mm-hmm.
so before
Sharply. Mm-hmm.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's terrible. It's terrible because Ozempic is very expensive. Now they've tried to do different things, but for some reason, Ozempic was more expensive in this country than any other country that has it.
Hmm.
Um, and I have insurance here, and I just knew my insurance was going to cover it, but my insurance did not cover it. Secondly, um, when I went in and I talked to my doctor about getting the prescription, I didn't know that I was considered pre-diabetic. I just thought,
Mm-hmm.
I was, obese, and I
Mm-hmm.
just thought that I had a high A1C number. I didn't know that my A1C number had put me at
That pre-diabetic group.
exactly.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't until I went back to the doctor to get another prescription or to up my prescription, and then they did the new blood tests, and they were like, my A1C had dropped, and they were like, "Did you know that you were pre-diabetic?" I said,
Mm-hmm.
what do you mean? They said you were, but your numbers have gone down. So that was the beauty about the drug. Ozempic is fantastic. It lowered my A1C. Um, and the way it works, its job is to inhibit your appetite, your need to want to eat. Your food, where's food? I want to eat, and I'll eat
Mm-hmm.
everything. That's what it's supposed to do. And then it slows your gastric emptying, so so when you eat, it makes you feel full really quickly, so you can't even ingest anymore. That's the job of it.
Okay. But can I ask you,
Ozempic.
why did they give you Ozempic if it's for the diabetic people and there's the sister that is for the weight loss?
Oh, that was my choice because
Okay, okay.
even though Wegovy and Ozempic are related, they're sisters.
Mm,
It's the same
mm,
drug,
okay.
and I don't know why they did it. They did it this way.
Mm-hmm,
I guess to them, diabetics are the sick people. People who are
mm-hmm.
obese are just fat. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So,
Mm-hmm.
so because you're just fat, you will pay more money for the drug. So
Okay, okay. Mm-hmm.
yes, so Wegovy cost $300. We're talking about drugs that are already in the thousands, right?
What?
Yes, for a
Ah,
month's supply. So it's a once weekly shot. So for one shot, 1 month supply is over $1,000.
eh?
Yes, and then we'll go here in America, and Wegovy was $300 more than Ozempic.
What the heck?
And my insurance said for your pockets, we're not covering that. If my insurance was covering it, all I do is pay a copay and be enjoying my life. But they didn't cover it.
Are you serious? That's a
So
lot of money, yo.
a lot, a lot. Which is why I think I lost the weight, because a lot of people think you just give yourself the injection and the fat just starts coming off your body. It
That's what I
doesn't
thought.
work like
The fat will just start melting off your
start
body.
melting. You start melting away.
Because the way
It
I'm hearing Ozempic, everybody's talking about Ozempic. I'm like, what's going on? So you just inject yourself. Which, by the way, me, I'm scared of needles, so that's not even going to work for me. But the way people talk about this Ozempic, I thought you just inject yourself and you just go to bed and you just wake up and the fat is just dropping by. So you have to
wouldn't it
do
be
some work.
lovely?
That's what
Wouldn't
I
it be
thought it
lovely if
was.
that's how it works? It doesn't work that way. And
So
that's a
what
common
work do you have to
misconception.
do?
A lot of people think, yeah, a lot of people think, oh, I'm just going to give myself the injection and immediately I become skinny. It does not work like that. You have to change your habits. You have to change your eating habits and you have to exercise. There has to be a caloric deficit. If you're not, you know,
Stopping the
burning off those
calories from
calories,
piling.
you're not losing any weight. So people think, oh yeah, she's on Ozempic. No, if anybody is on Ozempic or Wegovy or Monjaro or Zepbound and they've lost weight, know that
They've
they,
done work.
yes, they've done work. It's not just, and then the more you step up, you start at a very low dose and you keep stepping up, stepping up. And Ozempic's highest dose, I think it's 2.5 or 2. I think it's 2 milligrams or something like that. That's the highest dose. So you keep stepping up till you get to the highest dose. And I think Wegovy's 2.4 is the highest dose on that. You're stepping up because at some point it's going to lose its efficacy. It's not going to work as it was working when you first started. And that's what I noticed when I was taking it. So, and then, well, I took it I started Ozempic November 22nd. I took it all the way through maybe the first week in September. So not quite a whole year. And I
Hold on,
went
let me try and do the maths. You were paying for this, right?
back.
You were paying. Wait, because Mrs. S, you know me, I am from Newe and I'm from Abuja, the combination. I'm trying to do the maths at, let's even keep it at $1,000 a month. So you did it for nearly a year.
Mhm.
Hmm. And I have another question before you even go on. You said that you're doing the work, but if the job of the injection is to stop you from feeling hungry, then that means you're not going to be doing, you don't have to do that much work. Oh, am I getting it? Am I
Why?
mixed? No, what I'm saying is if the injection is making me not hungry, right, then it's not me doing the work as in cutting my calories. It's just me not being hungry.
So you won't eat.
If I'm not hungry, why will I eat? If
Oh,
I don't feel
so
hungry.
you're not hungry for the whole week. Food will not enter your mouth.
Mm. No, I hear what you're saying, but my point is that injection is supposed to help you with not wanting to eat.
So this is what I said when I got on because
Mhm.
I don't know about other people. It didn't suppress my appetite.
Okay.
Okay. I didn't feel like, oh, I don't want to eat. I just didn't feel I needed to eat. It
Okay.
wasn't by force.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But you get hungry, you're supposed to eat. And that's why some people don't lose weight because they ignore it. They ignore that brain saying you're not that hungry.
And it just
So that's
eats because
right.
out of habit, it's time to eat it. Let me
It's
eat.
time to eat, so I'm going to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the reason I'm saying you have to do the work, if you're only eating, if the only time you decide to eat for that day, like you weren't hungry the whole day, and then you decide I want to eat, and your meal for the day, if you're someone who likes sweets, like your
Mm,
meal for the day is 5 donuts,
mm-hmm.
and you eat 5 donuts, you're not losing any weight
Mm.
because you've just ingested
You just piled
weeks
back on.
of
Yes.
calories into your
Yeah.
body.
Okay.
you
Mm-hmm.
know, you know,
Yeah. Okay. I hear you. So you still have to be very conscious of what you're putting in your mouth.
you have to be conscious of what you're
Mm-hmm.
eating. You have to be
Mm-hmm.
you have to exercise. I'm saying this because it's one and two. Those two things have to go together.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
So you
I've
were on
lost
it
over
for. So you're on it for like nearly like shy of a year, and then what happened?
Right. So by September, I had gone from like, so whenever I started losing weight, I was 270 something. When I got on Ozempic, I was like, by that time, I was about 260, 250. By September, I had gone down to 160 something pounds.
Wow.
Right.
Mm.
So altogether, I've lost over 100 and something pounds. Right. So I was
Mm-hmm.
feeling bold and brave.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, oh, now I'm going to, you know, my BMI has dropped to a
Mm.
reasonable level. I don't need to take this Ozempic anymore. I stopped taking it. And then that's when you saw when we were in Jamaica. Jamaica, man.
Big up
Montego Way.
Jamaica. Yeah, man.
You know,
Yeah, so
we
this was
got there.
December. Mm-hmm.
By the time January rolled around, 20 pounds has already found its way back on my body.
Oh my God. Mm.
So when I got off Ozempic for the first month, 2 months, it was still in my system. I was still losing weight. But then it stopped. And then by the new year, I had already ballooned, added 20 pounds.
Mm.
And I had already said that if I'm trying to lose weight on my own and it's not working, I'm going back on Ozempic,
Mm.
no doubt. So I went back to my doctor, got back on Ozempic. This time around, it did not work.
Really? Why?
All it did was give me immense clarity. Like my brain was alive. And that's those are the things that these are the this is why I say it's a miracle drug.
Mm.
And remember, just before we started recording, we were talking about perimenopause.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was the discovery. This is why the weight is coming on. This is why all I have to do is look at food and I'll gain the weight. There are
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
changes that are happening to my body
That
that are
nothing can
beyond my
nothing can
control.
deal with.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
that are beyond my control. And
Mm-hmm.
we're all different. And perimenopause will affect the next lady in a different way than it'll affect me.
Absolutely.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it's 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 the weight, it's hair loss. My hair is coming off in clumps. It's it's fogginess. Like I'd be talking and every word I'm like, what's that word again? And was I don't know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Ozempic, I was like Einstein.
Are you
And
serious?
I,
Clarity.
I'd be at work, they will throw some would like you to do this. I've given them the answer. Boom, boom, boom. The clarity of the mind. Okay. So that's what I experienced throughout while I was on Ozempic. And then when I got back on it, that was the only thing that
So
happened to
no
me.
no weight loss, just that same being
Yes.
Einstein, being the smart whistle. Are
Exactly.
you serious? Oh my God.
No weight loss. If anything, I
Yeah.
think I gained about 10 pounds or maybe even 15 because I got up to almost up to 200 pounds.
Wow.
So I said, it means maybe my body. See, and that's another thing. You have to understand how your body behaves. So I said,
Mm.
oh, maybe my body is like this Ozempic. You think you have sense?
I have more
You're
power
not.
than you. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You have done your own. You're not going to work again. So my body is used to it. My body is like, we know this guy. Leave this guy alone.
Mm.
So I was like, let me try um Zepbound because Wegovy is semaglutide. You just get an extra dose. It's a little higher. But I'm like, if Ozempic isn't working for me, I strongly doubt that Wegovy is going to work for me.
Mm.
Plus, remember, it's still $300 more than Ozempic. So I was like, I don't know if I want to. Is enough, and it's not
Mm-hmm.
working, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I now decided to try Monjaro, right?
Okay.
So
Mm-hmm.
Monjaro is from a different pharmaceutical company. Ozempic is from Novo Nordisk. Monjaro is from Eli Lilly, an American company.
So that's
So
still injection, right? Still the
It's still
injection
it's
thing.
still injection. It's once
Okay.
weekly, but this one
Okay.
has two versions. It's terzepatide. So this one has the GLP-1 and the GIP. Um, those are the two things that are working to,
To
move
fight
those,
the fight whatever's going
yes,
on.
to move those
Mm-hmm.
hormones around to trick those receptors and wake
Mm-hmm.
them up and channel, insulin the way where it's supposed to be. Those are the two.
Mm. So you started this
So
Mangaro when?
So I started. I said let me look into Monjaro because Monjaro is the mate of Ozempic.
Mm-hmm.
But when I started looking into it, Eli Lilly had decided they were going to start an option where they will let you buy their first two doses, which was in a vial form. So their excuse for making the drug so expensive is that they put them in these fancy pens that you don't have to go and buy your syringe, you don't have to do this, you don't have
Mm-hmm.
to draw. The drugs are already in the syringes, you inject yourself and you're good.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then back then when Ozempic was picking up, a lot of people wanted it and just because it was first of all it was expensive and at one point people couldn't find it. You couldn't
Mm-hmm.
buy it. There was a shortage. So in America, and I don't know if other countries do that, when there's a shortage, there are chemists, compounding chemists that will get that active ingredient, put the drug together, like what I was when I was getting HCG, put that drug together. You just have to buy your own syringe and inject
Okay.
yourself.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Right. So, and they were selling the drugs for a fraction of the price. And
Okay.
everybody's getting on semaglutide based on that. So
Okay.
Eli Lilly decided, oh, you're not going to steal our drugs and be making money off of it. So they decided to do their first two doses, the 2.5 and 5, in a vial version. So when I heard about that, I was like, oh, let me sign up for this thing and get it. Those They were selling it for $499. I was like, this
Mm.
is more my speed. When I now contacted the company, the same thing. They had a doctor who had all this information and said, oh, we'll contact your insurance company. And instead of giving the vial version,
Mm-hmm.
they just put me on the regular Zepbound.
Mm.
Okay, Zepbound is the weight loss version of
Mm-hmm.
Manjaro.
Mm-hmm.
So they called in the prescription. When I went to pick it up, the pharmacy said, this is how much it is. I said, you know, didn't the doctor call to, didn't the doctor call and isn't my insurance cover? They say your insurance is not covering it. This is how much. Do
Mm.
you want it or do you not
Or
want
not. Be cool. Mm-hmm.
it? And I was already, I was so mad. So I bought it, right? And then I
Mm.
went and I called that company. I said, you know, I came to you guys because I wanted the vial version. You made me think that you were going to be able to get my insurance company to cover this.
Mm-hmm.
You're not doing anything different, from my own doctor, my primary care physician. So I don't need you. I'm not going to be paying a monthly fee for some kind of membership in addition to paying this much for the drug. So please cancel that and return my money. And then I just went to my doctor and I said, please write me a prescription for
Mm.
Zepbound.
Mm.
My pharmacy where I go pick it up from offers a little bit of a discount. But I just said, let me research this thing again and see if the company itself is still offering a manufacturer's coupon and things like that, which I did. And they are offering $650 off the drug. And I was like, God bless you, even though it's still expensive. Let me carry.
Mm-hmm. So you're
Let me
now
do
on. So
this.
you jumped on the Monjaro train, and
Yes.
how are
Oh,
you
so
still on it?
now I'm taking Zepbound. So
Okay.
I've gone from 190 something, however much it was when I started on Zepbound, and I'm 151 pounds now.
Oh my God. What is it called? Zep what?
Zepbound.
Okay, Zep bound. Okay. And so what would you so you think you'll be on it until
Forever. It's
forever?
I
Because
don't
that
have the
means if you
energy.
stop
I
it, but
don't
if you
have
stop it, you're going to pile the weight back on. Is that what it
that.
means?
That is what that exercise with Ozempic has shown me,
Mm,
and I just don't have the frame to carry that type of load,
mm.
and I'm like, mm-mm. So I need all the help I can get. I'm not ashamed to say it. I don't think people should, you know, be like, "Ah, I don't want," because I don't know what people are going to say. What are people going
Yeah,
to
I know
say?
you don't. I know you don't. You're first of all, you're not even someone who cares about, and I don't think anybody should really care. Really, it's your body. It's what you have decided that you want and need to do, and therefore, people's opinions shouldn't really matter. Because this Ozempic thing, I heard so much. There's so many good stories. There's so many bad stories. But at the end of the day, it's your decision, and you know why. Because as we're getting older, excess weight, carrying around this weight is not helping anybody.
Ah,
It's not
my
helping.
knees.
Mm,
My knees. I was I hate putting that word next to me, but I was slowly dying. You know what I mean? It's
mm,
just
mm,
my whole life was it was just so difficult. And I look at the pictures and I'm like, I just there's no people will be like, no, that's not you. I've actually been posting some of my old videos back saying,
mm,
remember
mm.
this, remember this, because I'm going to do a reveal, maybe I wear bikini or something like that, you know.
But you know what? It's also but my whole thing about this whole thing is the financial aspect of it. It's a whole lot of money. If you don't have
It
the
is.
money, you cannot be on it. That's what it
You
means.
cannot, and that's what's unfair. And
Mm,
sometime mid last year or so, the American Congress called the CEO of Novo Nordisk to ask them, or Grandma,
why can't you?
why are
Yeah.
you charging so much? Yes, in America, other countries, Australia or whatever, you're selling this for $4.99 or less. Why is it
Mm,
over $1,000 here? What's the rationale? So I think, and I keep up on the news on all these things.
mm,
So I think at this moment, if I'm not mistaken, Novo Nordisk, because there's no shortage anymore. They have
mm,
the FDA has told the compounders to stop their business of compounding semaglutide. They are not allowed to do it because there's no shortage anymore. The drugs are
mm,
out there. So Novo Nordisk has decided to, I believe, I hope I'm not mistaken, to offer the vial versions. No, 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 that's Eli Lilly. To offer the different doses at 4.99, all of
okay.
them.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
So, and this was a news bite I saw. I don't know how true it is, but now they're offering all their doses, and that's because of the first two doses that Eli Lilly had lowered the price on for um for the vial versions. But Eli Lilly has now done the same thing, and all their doses, except, of course, my own is always going to be different, except the dose I'm currently on. They've
mm.
all they all are have a reduction in price as well. So
Hmm.
it it's still expensive, but it's not in the thousands anymore.
Mm. But you're saying that it has to be a lifelong journey. From your experience, when you stop it, the weight comes back aggressively. Can I use that word aggressively?
Um, I wouldn't say aggressively, and again, like I said, it depends on what's the cause.
Mm,
What caused you to gain weight?
mm, mm,
You know,
mm,
and I strongly believe that my issue is very much hormonal. And so
mm,
because of that, it's difficult because let's be honest, I don't even eat that much,
mm.
you know? I don't eat that much. But again, let's be honest, it was during what's that thing called again? God.
COVID. Mm,
Oh, yes, COVID. So
mm,
I wasn't leaving my house. Um the weight started coming, the hormonal stuff, there was a lot of stress involved, and I wasn't doing anything. I work from home. Um, I have a full gym in my basement. I wasn't working out. So
mm,
the weight was just coming on like that, like that, like that. Whether I might eat the same thing my husband eats. and he'll be looking nice and slender.
And slender,
Me, I'll
yeah,
be
because
looking
he's
like
slender.
uh
He's
Portmanteau.
so,
You know that kind of thing.
yeah. So what would, as we're rounding up, what would your final words be to anybody who's considering um any of these options? What would
Uh,
your, so a lay, if a layperson just came and said, "Oh, Mrs. S, listen, I'm someone, let me use myself as I am now. If I said to you, listen, I'm trying to, I need to shed this, I need to shift this weight. What would your advice to me be?"
my advice to you would be, first of all, you need to get a complete, you know, blood work done on you, so you know what's the cause of it and
Mm,
what any underlying issues you may have. So
mm-hmm,
if you have any thyroid issues, anything that whether it's maybe it's not happening to you, but in your family,
mm-hmm,
somebody had
mm-hmm,
thyroid, you probably don't want to get on Ozempic. It's not going to work for
mm-hmm,
you. If you
mm-hmm,
have type 1 diabetes, Ozempic is not for you. Um, if you have if there are other issues, you know, especially thyroid type stuff, you don't want to do it because of, when they were testing the drug and things like that, they found that
mm-hmm,
there were issues in mice. They said they haven't seen it in human beings, but
mm-hmm,
in mice, and then some other stuff with the eyes as well. But those are complications of diabetes, so they're saying it might make it worse.
mm-hmm.
So
So
you want to
basically,
know.
if my weight gain is not as a result of me just stuffing my, if it's as a result of me just stuffing my face, basically, then go for it, is what you're saying. If there are any
Yes,
other,
I'm saying
uh if you're
if
liking all
you're
the chocolate and
healthy,
all the,
yes, if you're healthy, if you don't have thyroid issues specifically, because it says so there, Ozempic, they're like, this could make it worse. You know,
mm,
go and talk to your doctor, see how everything is. And I'm saying for me, because I'm nobody's doctor, for me,
yeah,
it worked perfectly for me. And knowing what I know now, I was very eager to get off of it. One, because it was too expensive,
yeah,
and I was
that's
feeling
an
bold. I
expensive
said, me, I
habit.
know how to
Yeah.
lose weight,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But now I'm not. I will not get off of it. I will stay on it until I know for sure that maybe when menopause comes and goes,
Yes, yeah.
and the
Then you
the
know that.
hormonal,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the hormonal ups and downs are gone. You know, I will get off
Mm-hmm.
of it. But until then, I will be on Zepbound.
Mm-hmm. And you look good.
Oh,
Even though I was worried, I was saying to you, don't lose much more. But my dear, whatever
I
works
want
for
to get
you,
down to 130 pounds.
whatever works for you, as long as you're not looking like a turu turu.
Skeletal.
It's gonna. That's my thing. If you're looking healthy, but a lot slimmer, who needs that weight? Really, there's no award for carrying plenty weight. So
It's really not.
yeah,
It's really
there's
not.
no
And I
award for
remember
carrying
back
weight.
then when I started it, it was just everybody was shouting, why are you on
Mm,
Ozempic? There are people, I would go into Facebook and there would be long conversations about people who are taking Ozempic when they're not diabetic. I'm like, you don't even know anything about the
mm,
drug. There
mm,
are a lot of drugs that are geared towards diabetics. They don't have to take Ozempic, but just
mm.
because it's labeled a diabetic drug, you're saying me I
Everybody's
shouldn't
now.
take it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know?
Anyway, you don't listen. Your ears are for decoration. So that's all those comments are not even for you.
What's my
Um
business?
yeah. Well, listen, it's good to just hear from someone who's actually taking it and hear the pros and the cons, because I like how this is balanced, because you haven't painted it as, oh my God, just take it and do you understand everything is fixed. You're saying that there has to be work involved. You have to have some discipline, watch what you eat. So it's well balanced, and it's just nice to have that kind of conversation with you.
Yes.
Yeah,
I know a number of people who were on Ozempic. You're not gonna hear it because a lot of people feel, they want to hide the
it's
fact
still
that they're
hush
on.
hush. Yeah, it's
Oh, it's
still
their
hush
business,
hush.
whose business is it? But I know a
Yeah.
lot of people who took Ozempic. It's like after I talk about it, like I was on Ozempic, it didn't work for me. I'm like, oh, really? You were? So there are a lot of people who got on Ozempic, taking the actual Ozempic, taking the compounded version, whatever versions are, even the Trizep, whatever version,
But
and
they would
haven't
say,
lost shishi. They've not lost
yeah.
anyone.
And they
And I
also have,
can
they
say
haven't lost, and they would say
100%.
they haven't lost, and they would also not even say that they've been on it. I don't. This is something I know. I'm going to digress now, but this is something that I've noticed about our people, because this podcast is really for our people. I'm still yet to understand why we are so self-conscious and why we do not share our experiences of things with other people so that those people can also learn, and you don't even know what people are going through. So look at me, who just had cataract surgery. Girl, the number of people who have sent me their pictures privately.
No, you
I
have,
said,
you did not tell me. I did not know.
listen, I made a post. I made a post just thinking, just saying, oh, look, I had I had the left eye done, I had the right eye done. This is just me just making it. People are sending me pictures like in private.
Yes,
I'm like, why is it private? You have cataract, you go do surgery. I know not
yes,
everybody announces what they do, but you just don't know who's going through what.
you don't.
You don't know
You
who
don't.
needs your encouragement. People have said to me, oh my God, I have it, but I'm scared. And I'm saying to them, listen, it's not scary. And I'm explaining, you know what I mean? You learn
Exactly.
from other people. What is all the secrecy? Our people are just phenomenal when it comes to hiding. Because this was
I
Zempic.
mean,
I
now
know
I
one or two
know
people
that
on it.
there are certain things you don't necessarily have to share with the world
Yeah.
because you don't know who's who.
You don't need to.
Like if you have certain allergies and things like that, your death, you take this thing and this thing will kill you.
Yeah.
Unless you're in a restaurant or something, there's no need to share it with the world because now someone knows how they will finish you,
Yeah,
stuff
true.
like
Those
that.
sorts of things. But other things that can help people, or not even just help people, just tell people, oh, you know what, I did this. This is how, because this is what I like about your channel, your YouTube channel, because you talk about your Ozempic journey, you talk about your whole, apart from Ozempic, your weight loss journey. And if people are interested, they will tune in, listen, and you don't know, people can learn things or decide, no, this is not for me or this is for me. But you just hear somebody else's story and then you can decide what you want to do. So
Yes,
it's
and
that's why I thought we'll talk about this.
the biggest part of it is because Ozempic is the buzzword of
Mm,
how many years it's been right now. People don't understand that aspect of you just taking the injection is not going to help you lose. It's not going to do the trick. You have
mm.
people don't know those other parts
No, I
because
didn't know it until today.
they don't. They think they will
Mm,
just take the injection and they'll lose weight. And that is the biggest misconception. And that's the part when you see my YouTube channel, when I talk about it, I always talk about if I got a scale, I downloaded an app, I
mm,
kept a food journal. There were so many things I did to monitor, to track, to see, oh, I ate this today. When I got on the scale, my weight went up 1 pound.
mm,
Oh, it's this thing that I ate. That you
mm.
just have to be very diligent and manage what you're doing. That's the only way you're going to get any form of success from this thing. Other
And
than that,
sustained. And apart from even getting success, it's also about sustaining it.
yeah.
Because some people I think lose the way, because I know a few people who are on it, whether they want to accept or they don't want to accept. But yeah, sustainability. You have to. For me, that would be my own. That would be my own. I guess maybe main concern. I am just somebody whose attention span is very short, and whose threshold is very. Do you understand? I don't know that I can.
The needles are very tiny. It's a once a week injection. They
Mm,
just think, like I told you, HCG, I was injecting myself every day. The makers of Novo Nordisk, they have all these other weight loss injections, like liraglutide and all these other ones that were daily injections. They've been
oh
doing this for a
no,
while. It's not today they started. But
no,
this
that
particular
daily.
drug are once
Mm,
a week. In fact, they're working on another one. What is it? Capgemi or what? I've forgotten the name of that one, which they want to make like a once a month shot or whatever. So they're very
things that.
small. They're very
Mm,
small needles. It's once a week. You do it the same day each week. You can
and
do it.
that's it.
If this is
Yeah.
something you're interested in, you can do it. And there's value in it, you know. And I
Let me
track
first of all think that,
everything.
let me first of all go to my bank and get a loan before I start talking about doing
No, but that's what I'm saying. That you see, in like Canada now, Canada, nobody needed to take a loan. Canada
Mm,
is you're covered. In fact, that's why one of my friends I'm telling you about who was an
mm,
Ozempic quietly lives
mm.
in Canada. Got on the drug because it's 45. You just pay your 45 Canadian dollars and that's it.
Are you serious?
I said
Oh
maybe
wow.
that's why you didn't lose weight because you are paying shillings. When you
For
know
it.
you're paying thousands of dollars, you will know
It's
that you have
true.
to
You
lose
will
the
know
weight.
that you have to. Yeah. So to round up, tell us about your YouTube channel, just in case people want to follow you, because it's not, you're not just about obviously the weight loss. You do
Oh
other stuff.
no, my YouTube
What is your
channel,
YouTube channel? Tell
my
us.
YouTube channel is about it's a happy space. It's about love. It's about enjoying being married. I do a lot of traveling. I do cooking, baking. I try to do stuff with a twist. This past few years it's been really focused on obviously my weight loss because that has been a very big thing. My husband,
Mm.
when I tell my husband, you don't know you married a beauty queen, I'm sure he's like,
So your
well
YouTube
done.
channel, you do so many, you talk about do so many different things,
I do a
and it's
lot of
called
things.
Being Mrs. S.
Yes, I do. I talk about makeup, a
Mhm,
woman of a certain age, there's makeup
mhm,
that we can do to make ourselves. You age gracefully. I'm all
mhm,
about aging gracefully,
mhm.
nice skincare and things like that. So there's something for everyone.
Everybody,
So
and there's a lot about good old love, traveling, and it's not just about married. It's not just about being married. It's just about love in general.
yes.
And it's called Being Mrs. S. I like that name. I think that's it. I think I've talked you out today. So we're gonna round up. Is there anything you want to round up with? What do you want to leave any listeners with?
No, I think this was a more uh like a school session. Next time
Mhm.
we do this, we will let's
We
talk
will,
about
we will, we will, we will enter another angle. We'll
let's
enter another angle.
we'll talk about some scandalous things. But for
Yes.
now, this is
Yeah.
I mean I don't know what else to say other than if it's something that you're interested in, if your weight is an issue for you, this is definitely a
Something you
really
should
good
look
route to
into.
go. Mhm.
Mm, mm. Okay, my darling. Well, thank you so much for taking our time to just come and tell us, share with us. And of course, you're always yourself. And that's what I love about you. You don't care. You just say it as it is. And I absolutely love that. And so, guys, thank you for listening. Send me a message if you want me to connect to you or with Mrs. S. But that one, she'll charge you. She doesn't do anything for free. If you have any questions about what we talked about, let me know, and I
Absolutely.
can connect you guys. And you guys check out her YouTube channel, Being Mrs. S. There's so much to. So I like the makeup things as well because I'm hopeless at makeup. So check up her YouTube, check out her YouTube channel, talk about weight loss and everything else, makeup, unboxing. I know you do unboxing,
I do
right?
unboxing,
Yes.
yes.
So you see, I do check you out.
I know.
Um, guys, check out Being Mrs. S on YouTube. And okay, I'm gonna leave you guys. Until next time, I'm sending you peace, love, and take care of yourselves. Bye,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye.